Well, 2024 is coming to an end, and I can't believe I've done it. I did 12 videos. This is my 12th video um, that I am sharing of my year in my studio. It's been a really interesting year and a very good year for me. Personally, it was very special, and my studio time um, looking back was very, very rewarding. And I experimented a lot and did nothing, I think, big, but at the same time was able to um, open up and and thoroughly enjoy what I was discovering. Uh, I also got to see a lot of art and make some connections, meet some interesting artists, and that has meant a lot. And I had two amazing trips this year, so I I'm really happy that I was able to persevere and I enjoyed this process. I kept it simple. I shot it all night with my iPhone and edited with my iPad. Um, Not too concerned with quality, but just seeing how I could work it into my studio workflow. And I actually enjoyed it, and I'm really happy now that I can reflect on the year. I'm so grateful, and going to Tahiti was a major highlight this year. So I pretty much paint all day and other than swim. So I got to do that, and I got to do that this year because I sold a painting. So I would say that's kind of a dream if I could do that again. It's interesting. I go there and I just paint these small gouache paintings, and I just feel like it's for fun and for me, but actually, like some real processing went on there, including how I was able to uh, work and develop the um, heart paintings that I was working on. So those develop and change because of that time here. They became kind of like choral structures, or I don't know. It definitely, I was influenced by what I was seeing and feeling there. Um, so it's valuable that time away from the studio to be. It was really. It's really. I see now how valuable that was, especially reflecting on it. And the other thing that I discovered this year and kind of in that time in Tahiti is that I was doing these heart paintings. They're my mother's heart. They're sort of a data. I look at them as data visualization of my mother's heart. And I was doing them for myself, and I had done a lot of them. And I realized why do I consider those? Why do I kind of keep them in the closet? So I kind of shifted my thinking about them. Thought, no, those shouldn't be. That's what I do. They're part of what I do. They may not be my large scale paintings or like the portraits or anything else. Also, I think because they were non-representational, and I've always done representational work. So that was maybe another reason, but I brought them out of the closet and I'm making them part of what I do, you know. So I feel like I have, it's one modality I'll probably always work on. It will come and go in my life. It's
just another way of approaching painting that's become actually a really valuable thing. The other thing I've really loved working on that came up this year, that as something new, were the monoprint portraits of screaming ladies. That I call them screaming ladies. They're actually women in protest and a form of protest. And I love making them. I feel driven to make them. It's something, I love portraiture, and I just think for me, they're really interesting to do. I love the process of making monoprinting. And I'm really enjoying all of my processes. So that's, as they're developing, as I'm experimenting. But I'm thinking about a number of things. I want to, I'm always thinking about what I'm painting on. It's very different if you paint on wood, which is my preference. If you paint on gesso, if you paint on raw canvas, it's a different way to paint. I want to be fluid. I want to be adaptable, but I think I'm kind of looking for a way to make my large paintings as exciting to me as the hearts and the portraits. And those have the element for me in the process of surprise. There's an element of surprise because I'm doing kind of a printing process, even in the hearts a little bit, using a bit of a printing process. There's a lack of control, and when those elements are there, it's always really interesting for me. I think I discover something there. And also with painting, you can get kind of, lose a little bit of spontaneity. So I'm looking to bring, what I've learned from these into the bigger paintings. But I'm also thinking subject matter. And I think one of the things I've changed, I've always had figures in my paintings. And the heart paintings being sort of the first non-representational painting I've done. But it's been a bit freeing. I like to do both, I discovered. There's a freedom to do non-representational work, and there's a different there's a pathway with representational work, images. So it's kind of nice to go back and forth, and I think through that I want to find a new way to paint and have a fun process with the large canvases. What I'd love to do is get professional canvases, like this small one. It was the first time I've ever painted on a professional canvas. I absolutely loved it, and I may be making a big purchase to do one painting. I have an opportunity. I've been given a gift. And also there's a large linen canvas that's an incredible deal that I would like to possibly get one place I can put it over my bed and think about what I'm going to paint on it. But at any rate, with the storage unit, I really can't justify doing big paintings unless I had a legitimate art show, and that is something I haven't had other than in recent history and recent times. So it's something, I don't know, I shouldn't feel embarrassed to talk about, but it's something I do have to think about a little bit. And what does that mean? It means it's a relationship, and it's just a relationship I haven't had. I have a friend who sells paintings. She has just suddenly, by chance, sold some work online, just from having it on Facebook, which is incredible. And that's not anything that has happened or worked for me. But I would like a relationship with a gallery. I just think the collaborative nature of it would be really interesting to me. I think I myself would love to curate. I think it's can be a very creative process, and you know, you can have your, I can have my work laying here, but to have someone consider how to show it, I think that would be very interesting. And I would, yeah, I would really enjoy that, to have that kind of relationship. Yeah, this next year, I think there will be a lot of change somehow coming, in terms of, well, in terms of my family and growing family, in terms of maybe where I'm living. Um, and I'm very excited about all that's going to come in terms of my work. I'm just really enjoying painting, and I'm really, I'm going to keep experimenting, you know, things that, like I dyed a bunch of these canvases and I thought it was going to be terrible, but I actually thought it was kind of, it was great. So every time I push myself, I think it's a failure, but it usually comes out actually being something better than I thought. I don't know what else I can share at this point, except that I feel very grateful, and that's the most important thing. And I feel inspired, and those two things alone are enough.